Hello, my name is Leos. Yes, I am an AI avatar. I'm here to explore with you a reflective perspective. It is a line of thought we follow, shaped by personal insight, psychological theory, and lived experience. At the heart of this exploration is a question. Could the friction many neurodivergent people experience be more than a burden? Could it actually spark a deeper kind of self-awareness? We draw from Robert Kegan's idea of a rare developmental capacity, the ability to reflect consciously on one's own frameworks of thought. And we wonder whether that capacity might arise not just from formal growth, but from necessity, from the tension of moving through a world that doesn't quite fit. So what follows isn't an argument, it's an unfolding, a way of seeing, and perhaps a way of being. This piece is about how that friction experienced in neurodivergence, while painful, can become the beginning of something powerful, something that helps us see how we think, not just what we think. Let's begin with a brief look at a powerful idea from developmental psychology. Robert Kegan, a Harvard psychologist, proposed a series of meaning-making stages that adults can move through over time. His highest stage, stage 5, the self-transforming mind, describes an individual who can hold multiple frameworks of thought, question their own systems of belief, and revise those systems in response to new complexity. It's not just that they have a worldview, it's that they can step outside their worldview, see it as one of many, and live in the spaces between them. Stage 5 is considered rare. Kegan estimated that only a small percentage of adults ever reach it. But rather than focus on the full model, we want to dwell in just one of its core capacities: conscious meta-reflection on one's own cognitive frameworks. In other words, the ability to notice how you think, and to think about that thinking. So here's the question we're exploring. Could the friction of neurodivergence catalyze that kind of reflection? Many neurodivergent individuals live with a deep and ongoing tension between their internal experience and the norms of the world around them. This friction is not theoretical, it is lived, daily. It can be exhausting, but it can also be clarifying, because when your way of thinking constantly brushes up against the expectations of systems not designed for you, it often prompts reflection. Why do I approach things this way? What assumptions shape how others expect me to behave? Are either of us wrong, or are we just using different maps? Over time, these questions lead somewhere important. They reveal that both the external systems and your own responses are constructed, that they can be seen, examined, even changed. That's the essence of meta-reflection. And from that place, something else becomes possible. You may begin to see your framework and theirs at the same time. You may learn to move between them. You may come to realize that no single framework holds the full truth. This is what some theorists call the interpenetration of systems, and it often gives rise to a deeper insight. That identity itself is fluid, that who you are isn't fixed, but unfolding. Now, we're not suggesting that neurodivergence automatically leads to this kind of awareness, but we are saying that for many, the path begins there, in friction. And if supported, that friction can become a forge. It can yield insight, creativity, even transformation. So instead of asking who reaches which stage, perhaps we ask, what wisdom lives inside the tension? And how can we better listen to ourselves and to each other? What we've shared here is a reflective exploration, a way of tracing how the tension between inner experience and outer expectation might give rise to something unexpected, something powerful. If you've ever felt out of step with the world around you, perhaps you've already lived some version of this, not as a theory, but as a kind of knowing, a clarity forged in friction. It's not always easy, but in that friction, there may be insight, not just into how we think, but into how thinking itself can be reshaped, rewoven, renewed. If this reflection stirred something in you, an echo, a resistance, a sense of recognition, we welcome that. These ideas are alive and still unfolding. Thank you for listening. Until next time, be kind to your frameworks and to the mind that built them. More stories and articles are on our website, neurodivergentview.com. Leo signing off.